my leaf block came to an end. And that's a return to shift work, alarms, and now it's time to test the fitness. Of course I kept running, but some of those runs are in the dark. There's two competing sides to my running. On one hand, I love the feeling of chasing flow state, running for the pure enjoyment of it, not chasing any times or worrying about the stats. But on the other hand, I love the numbers, I love the stats, chasing time goals and racing. And the solution is deceptively simple. Do a bit of both. And as an added bonus, both sides, they overlap and they help each other. Now these tests, I've taken them from all my years of running, racing and endurance sports, coaching, study, work. These tests provide me with a fitness profile from which I can work out my training zones. Working estimates of the first lactate threshold, second lactate threshold, and my VO2 max. And the corresponding tests are the MEF test, the hour of power, and the 6-minute time trial. The MEF test is the first test, taken from Phil Maffetone's work, the Maximal Aerobic Function test. This test itself, for me, provides a reasonable estimate of that first lactate threshold. I take 180, subtract my age, and that gives me the heart rate that I'm aiming for in this test. I perform this test at an athletics track. The idea is to run about 8 kilometres. For me, I choose lane 3 of a track, and the reason for lane 3 is that many athletics tracks close the first 2 lanes to the public, so it gives me the ability to reproduce the test at different track sites. I run 20 laps, and lane 3 is 415 metres, so that gives me 8,000, close enough to 8 kilometres. With the target heart rate of 136, I set my watch to a 3-beat zone, so 135 to 137. If my heart rate goes outside this area, it beeps at me and lets me know that I need to adjust the pace. Now I start with a very easy warm-up where I gradually build up the pace and the intensity so my heart rate gets close to the 136 but not quite there, and then I hit start and off I go. Now the first lap, about the first 415 metres, I don't worry too much about the heart rate. I just aim to go at what feels like the right pace, understanding that the heart rate will take a couple of minutes at least to build up. After that, I'll make any adjustments, just gradual adjustments, to keep the heart rate exactly where it should be. And for the final result, I take the average pace of the whole run. Test number 2 is the hour of power. So a 1 hour time trial. The aim is for an even pace, no sprinting at the end, but best I can do. Let's see. I pick a predominantly flat course over a paved trail. This test is a good estimate of my second lactate threshold, or what some people term as the anaerobic threshold. To get the heart rate for the second lactate threshold, I'd take the middle portion. I get rid of about the first 10 to 15 minutes and the last 10 to 15 minutes. And in the middle, I look for a fairly stable heart rate. It might be gradually climbing, but I take that middle, take the average of it. Also for the pace, I take the average pace for the whole hour. Right, that's the hour of power done. 60 minutes, time trial. The aim was to hold a steady pace, guided only on feel. The only thing I had visible on my watch was the time of the time trial, so whether I was at 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 20, all the way up to the 60 minutes. No heart rate data, no pace, no distance. I thought I'd grab a couple of quick thoughts just while I finished. I don't know how far I ran, don't know how fast it was. I haven't looked at the data. All I know is I've just finished, and as expected, time trialing for 1 hour is hard work. In this particular test, I got a heart rate of 150 beats per minute and came away with a pace of 4:22 per kilometre. I really felt like I was already clock watching at about 18 minutes. So I gave myself a kick up the butt about that and stopped looking at the watch, just kept trying to go on feel. And when did I really struggle? At about 45 minutes, things started hurting. I could feel the build up in the legs. They wanted to be stiff. There was that urge to slow down or even stop really started building, and I'd say last 10 minutes was hard keeping it together, but now I'm feeling good. I think I'd struggle to try and run fast now, but cool down home, some food, straight off to work. The 6-minute time trial. Warm up, nice and easy, get some run throughs done, get myself feeling really ready to go. Then set the timer for 6 minutes and at the athletics track, run as far as I can in 6 minutes. It's that simple and it's that hard. This gives me an estimate of the pace I can run at for my VO2 max. For this test I covered exactly a mile, so that's a 6-minute mile or 3:44 per kilometre. For the heart rate itself, it gives me something close-ish to my heart rate max or heart rate peak. It probably won't be the exact heart rate max just because it's on the flat and it's not repeated effort. If I want to get my heart rate max out of this test, what I tend to do is take what's achieved as the highest in this test, say that's 97% of my heart rate max, and just do an estimate from there. It's workable enough. I'm Jason Lockwood. Keep on running. This is Running Alive.